And welcome back everyone to DreamHack Masters Atlanta 2022 group stage number 2. I'm of course show host Light VIP, and with me once again I am joined this lovely evening before Home Story Cup by the one, the only AsherBro.
Hello. The Zerg Story Cup is very soon.
What do you mean? Dark isn't going, puppy. He's not going. Ah.
Yeah, any of them can win. It's not hard.
Any of them can win. For those who are wondering, Home Story Cup does start in 3 hours, but until then, we are here to keep you company and give you some of that juicy StarCraft you want. Where maybe Zergs won't win because they can't, because we're not casting any today.
Yeah. Get out of here, clowns. We're casting some civilized StarCraft today.
This is the only way I could get Asher to cast. This is the
None of that mess. I don't want any creep on our lovely maps.
You're an animal, pup. You're an animal. But yes, we are continuing our replay coverage of DreamHack. We did already finish group stage 1. And today is going to be the last day of us covering group stage number 2 as well. So we're kind of working our way through it. We're almost done. There's only a couple more stages ahead of us, and we'll be covering them in the coming weeks. But today, we're having a look at a bit of a gander. We're not going to be biased because we finished casting our Ducklings. Today, we're diving into Group E with some very different players.
Yeah, speak for yourself. I'm going to be biased.
I'm trying to be impartial, Papi.
Hey, you can be impartial. I'm going to be cheering for the Terran.
Of course you are. Speaking of the Terrans, of course, in this group we have a couple of players. We have a Kelazhur alongside ShaDoWn. We also have Creator and Papi Joe as well. So we're not going to be covering the entire group, but some key select matches here we're deciding to jump into.
Yeah, so we just picked out a few of the highlights of these couple groups, and we're going to get straight into that with a TVP first up.
Ooh, we are indeed. So we have a very fond, a lot of fondness here for some of these players, specifically Kelazhur, Diego. So you know that may be a reason as to why we picked this, but also because these are amazing players. And here we go, the first game of the group.
And here he is, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. Playing for Team Liquid, this is our Brazilian Terran in the red, Kelazhur.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Data Under the Sea, we have his opponent, the French Protoss player, representing Berserker Esports. It is ShaDoWn.
I think the observer in this game's dead. Oh, he moves. He moves. Alright, that's alright. I'm just going to do it myself.
I'm curious. I imagine, is the person in this, because I haven't checked, is it Cosmos? Is that?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Massive shout out to Cosmos. So we, to reiterate, we did talk about this last time, but these matches were not casted in English at the time, but they were casted by some other language streamers. I believe a couple of days ago we were casting the Polish group, and that was casted by Indie. This time this group is casted by Cosmos, which makes a lot of sense, as Cosmos is of course our resident Portuguese caster.
Porra. We have some pretty standard openings coming out from both players. Kelazhur's going to be opening up with the double gas opener here, so this has become a little bit more standard these days in the matchup. Looks like he's going to go for a full wall off as well, just to be extra safe.
Oh, yeah, interesting. So just mixing things up a little bit by going for that wall off and by keeping his opponent in the dark if ShaDoWn did go for a probe scout. And I guess talking about Kelazhur a little bit here, we were kind of hyping him up on the road to group stage 1 as well, about how he's a player who I feel like fell to the wayside for a couple of years, but maybe the past 2 years or even just this year, he's really been able to distinguish himself. He's actually like really improving, despite the fact that he's been around for a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, Kelazhur is one of these players that's always been very good, but in a region that's been dominated by special, it's kind of hard for him to get that spotlight. But with the special having a little bit of a rougher season, we are starting to get a bit more of a spotlight on players like Kelazhur, players like Cham from that LATAM region. So it's been really nice to see them get the recognition that they deserve.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Kelazhur, he hasn't just been getting results in Latin America, but also in Europe as well. I'm sure we're going to be seeing more of him this weekend over Home Story Cup. I'm assuming he's a part of it. I'm pretty sure he is. But yeah, we'll see how he does here, because of course his opponent isn't a slouch. ShaDoWn as well has made it to the top 32 of DreamHack EU. He has been a part of that main event, and he's also opening up very interestingly, but the Reaper does get in.
Yeah, there we go. Get that Reaper there with a nice little grenade jump, but it's not going to get the full scouting. So ShaDoWn actually hiding his second pylon really nicely, and that means that this tech is not going to get scouted. And I believe the reason that he's hiding it so well is because it's actually going to be a robo first. So a little bit of an unusual opening. This does tend to be a lot safer. I think it's a good way to play against the 2-gas. Actually, Probe recently made a guide video on how to play like this, and I think it's a really solid way to play against 2-gas openers from the Terran.
Yeah, shout out to ShaDoWn. I know he's a massive fan of the Oceanic scene, and he
he watched Probe's guide before it came out.
Yeah, he watched Probe's guide as well in preparation for a series against Kelazhur. So yeah, shout out to ShaDoWn. You know, he's always very supportive of Australia specifically, even. Yeah, it is a really out of the norm opener. He's going for some gates behind this, so he's not rushing into a bay or anything like that as the drop is coming across the map. So Kelazhur's not exactly aware of what he's going to run into, but at least he won't be running into Blink or Phoenixes.
Yeah, actually pretty low on the units when it comes to ShaDoWn's setup here. He got a pretty fast third. He's getting a fast third gas as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe transition into Colossus eventually, but just going to start off with some gateway units here. And this is a nice little drop for Kelazhur. Unfortunately, ShaDoWn is in position for it though.
Yeah, I believe the observer that was moving out may have caught wind of that drop, so great positioning from ShaDoWn. He was able to just swat that away for the time being, and now the turns will table a little bit. We do see a Prism already on the way as well, so ShaDoWn will be able to flex his micro, flex his Stalker control.
Yeah, so actually once again following the probe guide, which is of course based off some hero games, so I'm sure ShaDoWn got it from the hero games. We are going to be seeing this Prism get sent out, and that will be loaded up with 4 Stalkers, and they can do a lot of damage to our economy.
Yeah, they really can. And for the time being, we do see ShaDoWn back off. We just see a Widowmine in the middle of the map, at least providing a little bit of vision here. Actually, 2 Widowmines in both of the tall grasses from Kelazhur. So really nice movement. He's even moving out with his Raven to harass. So if anything does move out, chances are he may be able to spot it. As I say that, the Prism does skirt around the southern portion of the map.
Yeah, Prism going to be avoiding that vision. There's a huge amount of vision here for ShaDoWn as well, but unfortunately, a little bit of a misstep there. Only sees one of those mines, and he's going to be taken out by the second one.
Oh, yeah, exactly. The second one does go off. Meanwhile, the Prism is slipping in towards the natural waste. At the same time, a little bit of Raven harass is coming in towards the third of ShaDoWn, but he does have a shield battery. He does react in time, and now the Stalkers come in.
Yeah, Stalkers coming in are going to be getting quite a lot of damage here. Kelazhur with a small move out already. Just a bunch of Marines and tanks without stims. It's a very oddly timed move out, but I think it does punish the lack of units of ShaDoWn. So looks like Kelazhur recognizes the way that ShaDoWn's playing and recognizes that he's using that 4 Stalker hit squad to buy himself time to not make units, and he's going to get punished for that.
He really is. The shield battery goes down. The sentries are being targeted down as well. There's no gateway upgrades. Bear that in mind. And because of that, this one tank and these Marines, they even take down the Immortal.
Yeah, Immortal goes down, tank goes down as well, but there is nothing here for ShaDoWn, and that means this probe, this mineral line is completely exposed.
Oh god, it really is. We see a scan, the observer gets sniped as well, maybe for a follow-up Widowmine drop. The Marines are eventually going to be cleaned up, but the target firing has been insane. 10 probes went down.
Yeah, really nice damage there from Kelazhur, and that was a very interesting push out. I have to think that he knew exactly what it was that ShaDoWn was going for with this game, and he gets the punish, so very well played though.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a little bit shocked how little ShaDoWn was able to deal across the map, how little damage he was able to deal with his Prism drop, because there wasn't honestly a lot to defend for Kelazhur either. But I guess ShaDoWn, he was never really intending to commit, so he never really tried to, and he was kind of punished for it. Meanwhile, that Raven just keeps going back in. It is still alive in between the bases.
Yeah, Kelazhur's done a really good job at getting some damage out of an opening that hasn't really gone that well for him, to be honest. With these double gas openings, of course, you are pretty fast set back with your economy, and we can see, even with all the damage that Kelazhur's gotten, the game looks pretty even still.
Boy, yeah, it does seem pretty even. We do see a triple drop moving out now. It looks like ShaDoWn is going to be moving in position. Hasn't quite caught wind of it. At the same time, we do have a Warp Prism warping into the main base.
Yeah, there we go. So all hell breaks loose. We do have a good defense coming out from Kelazhur. He's going to be using those SEVs just to shield there for his Marines. Does have a couple mines there to take out the Prism if he wants as well. Looks like they're going to be used on the Zealots. But meanwhile, there's triple drop in the main with a tank actually getting a lot of damage. Depowering 3 gateways here.
Oh my god, yeah, 3 gateways are going to be depowered in the end. Overcharge is going to help out as well. And it looks like with the power of Overcharge, yeah, ShaDoWn should be able to deal with this drop in the main. Oh, yeah, okay. I was like, did I speak too soon? I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like he should be able to just about deal with this, but it looks like Kelazhur actually wants to trade out with the units, and I like this choice. He's going to be taking out a lot of the tech units of ShaDoWn, and ShaDoWn also doesn't really have Link and won't have it for a while, so Kelazhur can look to abuse that with this drop.
Yeah, but at the same time, the Zealots across the map, they've just destroyed the natural base. There's not much here left. The CC itself, oh my god, it was even killed. The third has to be, yeah, it has to be lifted over.
Yeah, there you go. So it manages to save a lot of the SCVs, but losing that CC is disastrous because ShaDoWn has 4 Nexus. It doesn't really matter if he loses probes. He'll be able to chrono boost that economy straight back up in no time. He's repowering his gates now as well, and looks like ShaDoWn with just a huge lead here just about finished Kelazhur off with this Zealot run by, and should be a pretty simple cleanup for the rest of the game. Yeah, GG is called.
GG gets called. Kelazhur, it felt like he had some momentum going his way, especially when it came to his first tank push at least, but going for like a pseudo base trade where he committed to a triple drop and then a prism slipped into his natural, yeah, unfortunately he didn't quite have enough back at home to deal with all those Zealots.
Yeah, there we go. So very nice play coming out from ShaDoWn, and Kelazhur kept himself in the game with some nice drop play, good harass there, but in the end wasn't really enough to deal with that Zealot warp in, and of course losing that CC disastrous.
Yeah, it wasn't ideal. Wasn't ideal there for Kelazhur. So yeah, really strong start here from ShaDoWn. You were talking about a relatively safe opener that he went for, you know, and yeah, you know, it really does pay off to be a subscriber to Probe on YouTube.
Exactly. I should check when that video came out. I think the video might have come out after this game was played.
maybe, you know?
Maybe he saw the unlisted. He saw the draft. He was helping Probe make the video.
Actually, Probe actually posted it before he published it, like in the all things
privately to ShaDoWn.
Yeah. Specifically to ShaDoWn, yeah. Actually, you know
like,
what?
Bro,
go on.
He's like, bro, I know you're a big fan. Like, I got this ready for you. I'll post it to YouTube later, but like, don't worry about that for now.
I was gonna say, mate, actually ShaDoWn at PM'd Probe and asked him to make a video on it. He actually requested the video.
I need help. As here we go. We do have spawning in the top right hand corner of the map, sending out a little bit of a cheeky SCV already. It is gonna be our team Liquid Terran at Kelazhur.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Inside and Out, we have his opponents. The French Protoss player representing Berserker Esports. It is ShaDoWn.
Looks like Kelazhur's looking to do an eBay block here, but he's sent his SCV on a very strange path. And it looks like ShaDoWn actually going to be going for a low ground gateway anyway, so this isn't really going to work out the way that Kelazhur necessarily intended.
Yeah, exactly. We do see the NG Bay block going down here for Kelazhur. Is going to be able to delay the CC, forces the probe off the mineral line as well. When you're committed like this, like taking the unnatural natural just isn't really possible.
Yeah, I don't think it's really an option here with this gateway on the low ground just because he needs to protect that pylon, but at the same time, this is going to be a little bit of a slowdown for him. Looks like he's not going to get that Zealot after all, so nice to be able to skip that one, but Kelazhur, meanwhile, back at home, he's gone for a gas first, so he'll be able to get a fast factory. This is a classic Clem build. I have to think that Clem must have shared this with him as well, and I have seen him go for it before.
Yeah, I mean, they are teammates, so it would make plenty of sense here if he did go or if he was told of that. Meanwhile, we do have the CC on the high ground here, so I guess a more economic opener from Kelazhur overall.
Yeah, there you go. So that factory going to be going down now, and we'll be having that Reaper get sent across the map. So there's a few options from here. You can just play into a normal standard game. You can also go for a very fast Cyclone and put on a bit of a Marine Cyclone pressure. Just depends here how he's going to be adjusting to that low ground gateway.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see how he does adapt to that. Meanwhile, the first Reaper is going to slip out across the map. Does actually catch this Zealot, is going to be able to dish out a lot of DPS to this for the time being. We do have an Adept coming in behind this, though. Again, just to try and get across the map, deal some damage. Maybe even deny a CC if it was on the low ground. In this case, it isn't, but you know, he's trying.
Yeah, there we go. That Reaper going to be putting a bit of damage on that Zealot. Zealot does go down. Just to let you know as well, like, looks like we're dropping some frames on stream.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if we want, we can restart, I guess, from here if we really want to. Yeah.
Sounds like it's pretty bad. Maybe we should.
Okay. Hold on. As we are gonna switch scenes out here. Yeah, I'm not too sure what is happening exactly. It isn't the stream itself. Like, I mean, we're not dropping frames outside of StarCraft. It seems to be StarCraft itself that's kind of dying on me at least a little bit. Smirch.
Okay. Time for a new computer. Eh?
Time for a new PC. Yeah. So I'm just going to restart the client itself.
Okay.
And hopefully that fixes things.
Do we want to skip forward, or do we want to just?
What do you think? Mate, let's just start anew. Let's
just do it again. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So here we have in the top right-hand corner of the map, looking like he's thinking about an eBay block. Oh, interesting. I can tell just from the color of his CC. Wow. It is Kelazhur.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Inside and Out, we have someone who's about to be NG blocked, and he's not going to be able to stop it. It is representing Berserker Esports, ShaDoWn. And mate, we have all the frames. It's so smooth. It's so buttery, silky smooth. Oh,
relax.
Hold me, Asher.
No, you're all wet. As we do have this SUV dipping on in here, is going to be making that eBay once again in beautiful 60 FPS.
Oh.
And we are going to be getting those pros coming on down to help out with that.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking about it before, but because ShaDoWn did commit to a low ground gateway, he has to try and pull the boys. He has to try and deal with this as soon as he can. And yeah, Kelazhur, you know, having a nice go at it so far. You know, going to be able to delay the more economic opener that ShaDoWn wanted to try and go for.
Yeah, we do get that Nexus down without too much hassle, though. So pretty even trade between the players. We lose mining time for that eBay. And Kelazhur, yeah, just going to be going into, once again, that CC on the high ground, getting into that factory. And I believe he was going to be going for a Cyclone. So yeah, just actually matches up really well against the opening that ShaDoWn's going for, to be able to get that fast Cyclone. It really shuts down this pressure, because this is kind of designed to it's designed to put a lot of pressure on someone taking the CC on the low ground. You just get that Adept across before there can be any Marines for the Terran, or more than one Marine. And that can just make it really annoying to try and get that up, and just puts the Terran on the back foot, which is something that Protoss doesn't always get to do.
Yeah, and that's something that we were kind of talking about, I guess, before things went awry. Back in a world where we didn't have any frames, about how, you know, ShaDoWn is moving out without Adept, and I mean, Kelazhur is perfectly safe at home. We know he's going to be able to get a kill on this Zealot. If his control is good enough, he shouldn't be losing the Reaper either. And
how did you know?
Oh, I don't know. How do we do it? It's crazy. I am Kelazhur.
Whoa. Why don't you use hotkeys when you play Zerg, Kelazhur?
Maybe I'm not. Maybe he's inside me, Papi.
Oh, beautiful. As we do see that Cyclone getting it started on up, should be seeing that second racks going down pretty soon as well. So we can do a few things from here. Can play a pretty standard game, but can also go into one of those 3 racks, 1 factory pushes. That's something that Clem often does off of this as well. So it's definitely a lot of options. I think he'll probably want to see if he can get some scouting done first, though, to find out exactly what's going on the side of ShaDoWn. And on the side of ShaDoWn, we have a Dark Shrine.
Yeah, so a couple things just happened. The Reaper did go across the map. The Reaper was denied entry into the main base, so Kelazhur did not get the full scout off. He did not see what the follow-up tech was going to be, and as you pointed out, it is going to be that invisible man. So we'll see if Kelazhur can kind of piece things together in time. The Dark Shrine is still less than halfway done, so there are opportunities here as he's pushing out and actually getting some decent lock-ons here on the gateway units.
Yeah, there we go. Going to get a full lock-on on the high health Adept. Looks like he should be able to snipe that second one as well. The Stalker going to be getting on it out of there. But once again, we see this Reaper going to be dipping in for Kelazhur. This is going to be a vital scout if he can get it. We see 3 gates already up for ShaDoWn. And I'm not sure if this is necessarily looking to be ultra aggressive, this DT, rather than just to hold a potential 1 base all in coming out from the Terran. DTs can be really good for that.
They really can, especially because we have very limited scans available for the Terran player. But the Dark Shrine does get scattered. Kelazhur is fully aware. The Cyclone just dips on up into the natural, gets 1 probe kill, and then dips the hell out of there. Very cute. Does confirm also that there is a 3rd base on the way.
Yeah, there we go. So ShaDoWn is going to be macroing on out of this. Probably doesn't really want to commit too hard to the DTs now that's been scouted. Bit of an unfortunate scan there by Kelazhur, so he's going to have to waste a 2nd scan taking this one out. And we do have the turret up now, but it looks like, yeah, very low commitment to the DTs coming out from ShaDoWn.
Exactly. So despite the low commitment, still force out 2 scans for 1 DT. So no, not bad here. At least he got some additional value out of that as he's going to back off. We see Charge on the way. He's going to have access to that tech to go into Archons as well if he wants to warp in additional DTs and make use of them somehow. So yeah, he can still kind of, transition from here.
I am very worried for him, though. He does not have many units at all, and there's a pretty big stim push coming his way soon. Probably still around a minute off, but as soon as this reactor gets done on the factory, we're going to be seeing that starport get switched over for some medevacs, and with that first 2 medevacs, we're going to have a sizable bio push coming out.
Yeah, it just goes to show like the kind of snowball effect that Kelazhur's really gone for. A lot of gateway units have gone down this game. The DTs, again, didn't really pay for themselves overall. We're skipping splash damage. We're skipping a lot of these high-tech units. We're going to have to rely on gateway units for the most part. And ShaDoWn doesn't have that many of them. And if he doesn't warp in soon, if he doesn't get his gateways up and running, then he may be in trouble.
Yeah, there we go. We do see that 4th gateway coming out. We see a few extra on top of that. The Robo still a little ways off. Charge should be finished just in time for this push to arrive. We see a scan going down as well, so that is going to spot that there's no batteries on the natural, and I think that's a prime target for this push.
Yeah, he spots a shield battery at the 3rd base. Nothing at the natural. He has some options. It looks like he's going to be waiting, though. +1 attack from Kelazhur is still a ways off, so he just kind of threatens a push. He does put the fear of Terran into ShaDoWn for a little bit, then he backs off.
There we go. We just see those first 2 medevacs coming on out. He's going to be throwing down a 3rd CC as well. So it looks like we're going to get a little bit of a push out with these medevacs. Not going to bring the tanks, so not quite as committed. But, oh, here we go. Going to have a drop coming out. I like this coming out from Kelazhur. Not being fully committed, but still trying to put on some pressure.
Exactly, and here we go. The double drop does get spotted by this pylon, so very nice scouting here from ShaDoWn. It means that the drop won't necessarily be able to go all the way into the main base. ShaDoWn does already have units in position, but at least Kelazhur is still being active. At least he's still keeping ShaDoWn's attention on his own side of the map.
Am I casting a Brazilian? So he really is in position.
That's just... What? There are a lot of Brazilians in Call of Duty?
It's position. That's how a Brazilian would say position.
Are you sure? Is that where that comes from?
Yeah, I'm fairly sure that is where that comes from. Yeah.
Okay. I thought it came from you just saying nonsense playing Call of Duty, but okay.
No, it came from me saying nonsense pretending to be Brazilian.
Okay. I'm glad we sorted that out. As you do see Kelazhur making his way across out towards the 3rd base, we do see an overcharge, but we were talking about this. There's not that much here to defend for ShaDoWn.
Yeah, meanwhile, ShaDoWn was actually sending a Warp Prism into the main of Kelazhur, but Kelazhur had a Cyclone in position again, and he took out that Warp Prism before it could even start to warp in anything.
Oh my god, the prism goes down. Now Kelazhur doesn't have to worry across the map. We do have some decent force fields though. A lot of the bio does get cut up. At the same time as Kelazhur doesn't slow down, he's going to be able to force it down on that gas geyser. Takes out a probe. Well, he doesn't have too much else here. There are no more tanks. There's nothing else to really force the issue here for Kelazhur.
Yeah, nice blind shot though. Actually gets a lot of damage on that Immortal, and that Immortal looking rather vulnerable here. But I think with the 2 Archons in the Immortal, there is enough here for ShaDoWn to hold. Kelazhur is just going to be poking and prodding, but we do have some reinforcements here as well. And I think we don't have a shield battery overcharge, so there's actually a lot of potential with this push here.
Yeah, the overcharge was used earlier, so he needs a little bit more time for that to reset. The Widowmines are going to borrow 4 Widowmines. That's a lot, but the first Colossi comes out.
Yeah, the Colossus arrives at the perfect time here for ShaDoWn, but it is a little bit far forward. He has to be careful with that. Looks like Kelazhur is going to be dancing back and forth, trying to put some damage on those Archons, but the shield battery overcharge has been committed.
Oh, he wants it, but no. Oh my god, despite the overcharge, he's able to power on through. He takes down one of those Archons.
Yeah, it does manage to take out one of those Archons. Hasn't been the best trades ever for Kelazhur here, but still finds himself in a pretty good position, putting a lot of pressure on.
Really does. Meanwhile, we do see some reinforcements headed towards the 4th base of ShaDoWn. This has been spotted by a spotted Marine here from Kelazhur, and now ShaDoWn is going to be in a bit of a tough position here. He has to try and split up his army. He has to try and defend both his 3rd and his 4th.
Yeah, Kelazhur presents a very difficult problem here for ShaDoWn, how to split up this army, because it does look like there is very slightly more here for Kelazhur. We do see ShaDoWn actually going to be warping in an extra DT, sending that around. I really like that. Often we see players kind of forget that they have the DTs available to them, and oh, we are going to get a kill on that Nexus in the bottom at the 4th, not a cancel.
Yeah, it was a kill, not a cancel, so nicely done there by Kelazhur. He gets away with the majority of his forces as well, and he's able to push out on the right-hand side. So again, he was really just trying to distract the Colossi, distract the main army while he got that kill.
Yeah, beautifully done. There we go. That DT of ShaDoWn is going to find that 4th base building, is going to be able to take out that SCV and just be a bit of a nuisance here.
Yeah, just delay that as well. So, you know, a little bit of a tit for tat. Of course, ShaDoWn did lose a couple more resources, but at least he's able to slow down Kelazhur's economy. Meanwhile, a couple of Widowmines were picked up for free as well. Kelazhur, he's not taking this lying down, though. He's also transitioning himself. Would you see the Ghost Academy is completed, and Vikings are on the way.
Yeah, there we go. So we got Vikings, we got Ghosts, we got 2-2 on the way as well. So Kelazhur just going to put some pressure on the map, but I don't think he's going to be looking to do any kind of kill moves here. Just going to be starting to trade, make it very uncomfortable here for ShaDoWn to split his army, to think about taking a 5th. And when he does have that 2-2 timing, that is going to hit like a brick. We have 1-1, probably finishing around the same time as the 2-2 for ShaDoWn.
Yeah, exactly. So there's going to be a massive upgrade advantage here for Kelazhur in the coming moments. He's reinforcing his army. It looks like he's rotating over towards that 4th base. This is spotted by the Observer, so ShaDoWn is fully aware. He's going for a bit of a Zealot run by, a bit of a Zealot backstab as the army of Kelazhur moves out.
Yeah, nicely timed little Zealot run by here. He's going to get in here well before that PF is ready to go, but I don't think Kelazhur is going to be turning back for that. He is pushing right into the 4th, and ShaDoWn's out of position.
Oh, he is out of the position, Pop. He's trying to push up a ramp into his opponent. The 4th base goes down immediately before ShaDoWn could do anything to stop him.
Yeah, surround not really going to work out for ShaDoWn. He really needs batteries to drop back to, so he decides against it. He's going to be creating a little bit of a concave here. This is an awkward angle for Kelazhur to poke into, but he can actually threaten that drop into the main as well. He has a lot on the table here.
Yeah, he can go for the drop, or he can even back off. Like, he already got what he wanted. He got a kill on the 4th base, and he also defended the Zealot run by. Meanwhile, we do see a blink on forward here. A very aggressive blink from ShaDoWn.
Yeah, there we go. The first disruptor has been revealed. Actually going to be used to take out a mine, and all this army for ShaDoWn looks quite vulnerable. He does have 4 Colossus, so that's a lot to deal with for Kelazhur. I think he probably wants to wait for a few Vikings before he pushes in, but here we go. We have a lot of reinforcements here.
Yeah, he wants to wait for a few Vikings, and the Vikings are now here. Kelazhur can rotate over towards the 3rd base, or he can even try and push in straight through the middle, straight towards that natural. Meanwhile, ShaDoWn, that we were praising his kind of map vision earlier, but for the time being, he doesn't see where the army's coming in.
Yeah, he's been really hemmed in by this push over Kelazhur, and it looks like Kelazhur just has too much here. That's Nexus going to be going straight down here. Looks like the shield battery overcharge will be committed, but Kelazhur just stays and fights, takes out a lot of these probes, and there is no 3rd base for ShaDoWn.
There's no third, there is no fourth. Two next side go down immediately, and ShaDoWn still has a pretty terrifying army. Don't get us wrong, you know, you can do anything with disruptors. But his hand is really being forced right now. Kelazhur is just not letting him expand.
Yeah, I think ShaDoWn pretty much has no option here but to go straight through the middle, try go for a bit of a base trade. If he can catch the Terran army out of position, we do have, a jump right on top of the Disruptor, but huge connections there. Is it going to be enough though? We do have a bit more of a fight. Huge EMP landing on the entire army of ShaDoWn. Vikings going to be going forward as well to take out the Colossus.
Yeah, again, that was the final Disruptor shot there for ShaDoWn. He has to wait a little bit longer for them to reset or for more Disruptors to come out. Here we go, another one is coming out here. It's trying to hold on to this fourth base, but the EMPs are too good.
Yeah, these trades, every single trade that Kelazhur can take is just money in the bank because ShaDoWn, he is not mining barely anything. He's trying to long distance mine his third, but the natural and main almost mined out. Looks like these Colossus will finally be going down.
Oh, exactly. And the splits were insane from Kelazhur. The Novas do not find their connections. The Vikings land. GG gets called, and Kelazhur ties up the series 1-1.
GG. Very nice game coming out from Kelazhur. He's going to be tying things up 1-1. Bit of a dominant display there on the smaller map. You can see why it can be quite hard for the Protoss to deal with. Those armies, those reinforcements get there so quickly to the bases.
Yeah, exactly. And even though ShaDoWn was doing his best to have something on the map, whether it's pylons or probes or observers or even DTs, at a certain point, he kind of lost all of that map presence that he once had, and it was really difficult to get back. It was really difficult to keep up with the army of Kelazhur.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as he lost that fourth from the split pressure coming out from Kelazhur, felt like he was just way too far behind for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it was a bit of an uphill battle. But we'll see where this or how this all ends, as we are now diving into the ace match. We're tied up 1 apiece, and now we get into the final game of this series.
It's the final countdown. And in the bottom right hand corner, we have the red Terran playing for Team Liquid. This is Kelazhur.
Just keep going. And sporting in the top left-hand corner of Moondance, we have his opponent, the French Protoss player representing Berserker Esports. It is ShaDoWn. I'm telling you,
yes.
Asher, we just need a karaoke night. We just need to let it all out. We just need to spend a night together.
And end it once and for all.
And end it all.
Aye. So we do have once again Kelazhur going for the gas first, not going to be going for an eBay block this time though. So it does look like he's got a bit of an early pressure in mind. Usually this will net you a faster factory at the least.
Yeah. So this does make a lot of sense, especially on a map like Moondance. Of course, it is the shortest, the shortest rush distance map in the map pool. Not the smallest map overall, but again, it does kind of favor some aggression. So we'll see what Kelazhur has in store for us as the Rax is going to finish up, and we can see what he goes for.
Yeah, will Kelazhur be bringing out the aggression?
So
we actually see
aggression in Brazil? Is that
I have no idea. I'm actually going to look it up. I'm kind of curious now.
Oh, God.
I want the word. As we do have a couple of Reapers queued up here for Kelazhur, so definitely going to be looking to put some pressure on us. We do have a pretty standard opener coming out on the other side of the map from ShaDoWn. Once again, going to be hiding that pylon, so should be able to hide his tech from the Reaper.
Yeah, the pylon is hidden behind the main base here, the mineral line for ShaDoWn, so we'll see what he goes for. We saw him have some success with a robo opener in game number 1, so he could try and go for that, or maybe something a little bit more spicy.
Aggresso.
Beautiful.
Yeah. As we do have that high ground CC coming out once again from Kelazhur, so just going to be playing things nice and safe. This kind of just looks like his twist on the double gas opener. You do get that extra gas, of course, from going for that gas first, but also get the CC a little bit faster than a double gas opening. So the best of both worlds here.
Yeah. I mean, for the time being, like, he is able to go for, you know, a bit of a safer opener. Once again, going for the CC on the high ground, focusing on his army. He isn't able to have, like, a massive economic advantage, but maybe he's looking to do that later on, you know, with, say, a faster third base on a map like this.
Yeah, definitely some options there with that back base, of course, as we do see the second rack's going to be going down. So once again, going to be looking to go for this 3 racks, 1 factory opening that has been quite popular, especially with players like Bunny, players like Clem, Hero Marine doing this quite a bit. It can be a nice way to put a lot of pressure on a small amount.
Yeah, it really can, and we'll see if he does end up going for that. We do see the ShaDoWn actually is going for that Dark Shrine once again. Pretty fast this time. We'll see how many gateways he throws down here, and there we go. A proxy pylon is being set up across the map as well.
Those 3 gateways have been spotted out by that Reaper. The Reaper going to see as well that the warp gate was just about finishing up there, and we are just going to be poking around. It looks like he is trying to see if he can find any proxies.
Yeah, he's looking around the edge of the map. He recognizes that something feels a little bit off. He could come across the pylon, which will definitely help him out, as the Dark Shrine is going to finish up in a couple of seconds, and Kelazhur does find it.
Yeah, there we go. We are going to be spotting out the pylon, and yeah, this is a bit of a funny thing where these 2 players have played. They're playing pretty much the same game that they played on Inside and Out, and it's something that pro players do pretty often, where if something small goes wrong in their game plan, sometimes instead of, you know, drastically changing the build or, you know, going for something completely different, as Twitch chat might suggest, we are instead going to be seeing just some small adjustments to try to make it work.
Yeah, and I mean, we do see, like, as you're talking about small adjustments, like ShaDoWn is, you know, attempting to transition out of this, especially because the pylon did get sniped. We do have 1 DT going across the map, but there's no, like, follow-up proxy or anything like that. We have a third base. Like, it wasn't very committed, and he is, you know, trying to get out of it once again.
Yes, we are going to be seeing Blink coming out, but but this time from Kelazhur, we are going to be seeing something a little bit different. So instead of going for that starport, going for the fast 2 medevacs, he's just continuing to make tanks and actually delaying that starport. So looks like we're actually going to be going pretty all in on the 2 bases here for Kelazhur on a big tank push.
Oh my god, exactly. And now I worry a little bit for ShaDoWn. He hasn't really scouted the main base at all this game. I'm a little bit surprised. Looking at his vision, he hasn't been able to slip on in. He has a DT, sure, and there isn't a missile turret ready for this, but we do have scans available. But ooh, Kelazhur, he's moving out, and the army does get spotted.
Yeah, it does get spotted by that DT, but I have to wonder here for Kelazhur if maybe this was an adjustment that he made based on what happened in that last game, as we do see that DT is going to be turning back the army, so ShaDoWn doing a very good job buying himself time here.
Yeah, exactly. Time that he desperately needs. We already have a shield battery on the way for ShaDoWn. Blink is on the horizon. +1 still needs a little bit more time, but at least he is making some immortals.
Yeah, there we go. And it does feel like ShaDoWn kind of got the rough end of the stick here when it comes to the build order matchups. The first game that we saw on, the game that we saw on Inside and Out, he actually went for charge first, which would have been really nice against his push, but this time he's gone for blink, which is going to struggle a lot more to deal with the tanks.
Oh, it really is. And here we go. The tank's already getting in position here. Blink finally does finish up. The DT is mixed in, by the way. There's still no scan. Oh, as the overcharge is popped.
Yeah, there you go. That DT going to be doing a lot of work. It is finally taken out, but I wouldn't mind seeing ShaDoWn maybe warp in 1 or 2 more just to keep dribbling them in, and it looks like this push isn't going too well for Kelazhur.
Yeah, a lot of his bio went down to the DTs, to the gateway army. The tanks, sure, there are 3 of them, but there just isn't enough to protect these tanks.
Yeah, there we go. All the tanks going to be going down, and we really didn't trade fantastically considering we're stuck on 2 bases here. Looks like behind this, Kelazhur hasn't gone for any extra Raxes or any extra CC, so this is a very committed push.
And not gonna lie, I'm a little bit shocked that Kelazhur didn't pull the boys with that. Like, especially considering how committed this is and how much potential and firepower there were in those tanks. He desperately needed some kind of buffer.
Yeah, I definitely think it would have been a good idea in this exact situation, but there we go. We are going to be seeing those first 2 medevacs coming out, so Kelazhur are going to be looking to keep some pressure out on the map while he gets that 3rd base on location.
Yeah, as he gets his 3rd on location, ShaDoWn is also getting his 4th on location as well. The observer ShaDoWn does come across the army, so he's fully aware that it is moving out across the map. He's going to be able to get in position as well. His army already located outside his natural. So I do worry here for Kelazhur. I mean, he does have a way to drop into the main.
Yeah, he does actually have a nice angle here, and especially with the wall here, he can just pick off at these buildings from the low ground. He's going to be taking out the pylon. Can probably stick around and take out the cybercore, but no, looks like he's going to be playing it safe. Really nice moves, just preserving his army, which is quite important to do as he's a little bit behind here.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like, you don't want to be wasting resources on army when you need it in your economy, you know, maybe even going for a faster fourth base. Doing a great job so far, picking up whatever he can, but I'm sure he wants to do something to either the fourth or even the worker count of ShaDoWn to try and slow him down.
Yeah, absolutely. And here for ShaDoWn as well, he's actually gone for a double robo, so he's going to have 2 Colossus popping out very soon, and that's going to keep him extremely safe from any of the attacks of Kelazhur. Kind of interested by the position of this fourth base as well. It feels very aggressive.
It really does. It's not the most usual fourth base that we see here from Protoss, so very interesting because that Kelazhur actually hasn't scouted it. He doesn't know that there is a fourth base, but he doesn't really care because he is going to be able to target down that cybercore.
Yeah, I do actually worry a little bit for ShaDoWn once that does get spotted. I feel like it's going to be quite hard to split the defenses between that fourth and between the main. I'm not sure if ShaDoWn was just hoping that he would be the aggressor in this game and he could set up from there.
It was an interesting choice, and we'll see if he gets punished for it or if it works out for him in the end. We do see ShaDoWn's army split up in half here in between the natural and the third base. The Colossi looking a little bit exposed, but nah, we're good. We have the overcharge.
Yeah, overcharge is committed there. We are going to be getting a blink coming out just to bait out that Widowmine as well. And with 3 Colossus here, there is the opportunity for ShaDoWn to go for a little bit of a push.
Yeah, he does have that opportunity. We'll see if he goes for it. Meanwhile, Kelazhur is moving out with a drop. Once again, it does get spotted here by ShaDoWn. He's got vision all over the place with these observers and with these zealots. Also, Kelazhur still hasn't caught wind of this fourth base. And now, this vulnerable location, there's more cannons and more shield batteries being thrown down.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate, here for Diego that there was 2 forms of vision here. So there's the Zealots and the Observer, because he's rerouted this mine drop here and he's got no idea that it's been seen.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the mine drop is headed across the map and we'll see if ShaDoWn's going to be able to deal with it. At the same time, oh, Kelazhur, he catches some Stalkers.
Yeah, Kelazhur catching those Stalkers at the front there. That will set up some time for his mine drop to get in, and he does get a little bit of damage here, but he has to be very careful not to lose his army out on the map.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of Colossi trying to hunt him down. At the same time, mine drop in towards the natural base. There's no reaction.
Oh, huge damage there for Kelazhur. So despite that mine drop being spotted, it's created enough chaos to get that mine drop in, but this army is going to be cleaned up and down to the bottom left-hand corner of this map.
Yeah, it is going to be cleaned up. He did get some Colossi, though. Looking at the units lost tab, he got 2 Colossus for his trouble. Not bad whatsoever. Cutting the Colossus count in half. At the same time, ShaDoWn was trying to go for a Zealot Rumba here at the natural, but the reinforcements of Kelazhur were able to clean them up as well. Like, he's doing a decent job at just, again, maintaining here in this game.
Yeah, I like that scan as well. So just be keeping an eye on where the army is of ShaDoWn, and I'm wondering if there's a bit more army for ShaDoWn split up somewhere. No, it really does feel like his army's quite small at the moment.
It really does. It's a little bit odd, especially because he's been ahead in bases for so long. You'd think that that would reflect in some way, and maybe that was in those 2 Colossi that got sniped earlier, and maybe it is also in these Widowmine drops. As once again, we have another drop here towards the third.
Yeah, another drop going to be going in. That should just get some nice hits there. So 7 probes going to be going down. I'm looking to this natural, though. I think there's going to be some very nice shots here if the Colossus isn't able to clean this up.
Oh, yeah. It looks like for the time being, the armies are a little bit distracted. It looks like ShaDoWn is able to pull back the natural in time. At the same time, ShaDoWn is threatening the fourth base of Kelazhur with these disruptors.
Yeah, fourth just getting landed now for Kelazhur, so he's in a little bit of a rough spot. Definitely going to be an uphill battle getting himself back into this game, but with all these medevacs here, he does have the tools to start setting up some pressure split across the map.
Oh, he definitely can. We do have another Nova going off. This one does whiff once again. Kelazhur is very quick to respond to these disruptors. Oh, and he's able to, for the most part, get away with this. Only loses 2 Marauders.
Yeah, nice control there. Does get a big EMP over the army as well. So it looks like he's going to try to engage the army while he can, while those disruptors are on cooldown.
Yeah, but there's just so much on the ground. Kelazhur is forced back. At least he has had a Widowmine across the map that's just been going ham. There's been barely any mining at the 5th base of ShaDoWn, but again, that is the 5th base. Vikings are coming in, though.
Yeah, there we go. We see a lot of dancing back and forth here. A couple of disruptors are going to be committed here. Has to be careful that he doesn't commit to a fight when he has those disruptors on cooldown. And there we go. He is going to be going back up this high ground. And yeah, I can kind of see why he chose this base now. It's very easy to defend with a push like this. And he can put on so much pressure against the fourth of Kelazhur.
Oh my god, but we have a little bit of friendly fire. I think all the zealots just got taken out by that disruptor. And without any zealots again, Kelazhur does have a little bit of a better chance to fight this. Like, the army isn't too threatening. There's a lot of disruptors, but once the Novas go off, there's not that much protecting them.
Yeah, there we go. And I can feel that Kelazhur wants to dive on these disruptors. He snipes down one Colossus. Second Colossus is going to be going down. But there are enough disruptors here just to keep this smaller amount of units off of his army.
Yeah, looking at the unit stat, we have 8 disruptors, 9 disruptors in total. Basically, endless Novas are available here for ShaDoWn if he does time it correctly. But at the same time, he doesn't have consistent AoE damage, so he has to be a little bit careful here. If he does ever overextend, then Kelazhur can just die.
Yeah, there we go. We see a nice EMP going down for Kelazhur, but like you were saying, these constant disruptors are going to make it extremely hard for Kelazhur to push up. He should be able to zone out this army extremely effectively.
Oh my god, but you know what? Liberator's on the way. There we go. One disruptor finally does get sniped here. It looks like, oh, the Nova's going to go off.
Oh, we do have one connection with the Nova here. A lot of these disruptors getting a little bit of split off from the rest of the army. Definitely going to have to be careful with that for ShaDoWn. We do see a scan going down as well, just to confirm what's going on there. Oh, nice bait into the mines as well.
Yeah, the minefield goes ham. At the same time, Kelazhur's main army does bypass that of ShaDoWn. He goes straight for the 4th base. Isn't able to get the Nexus, and we have a recall, but the disruptors are here.
Yeah, a bit of an interesting recall. It looks like he's cut off his own disruptors, and I maybe would have liked to see him hang around with just a little bit more army to take out that PF.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I think there's definitely a lot of ways that could have gone. A couple of disruptors were even target fired there by Kelazhur as they were recalled. I think 2 disruptors went down, so the disruptor count isn't as high as it once was. At one point we had 9, now we're down to 4.
Yeah, and this Liberator transition is in full swing here for Kelazhur. He still is a little bit of a ways off with his ship weapon upgrades, but he does have a lot of them coming out, and when you're in a defensive position like this, sometimes that's exactly what you need, just to tie things down for those extra few moments that you need to get your army up and going once again.
Yeah, we'll see if he can actually get that momentum. We do see a massive Zealot Warprint on the right-hand side. ShaDoWn is going for a drop in towards the natural. At the same time, disruptors are looking to be caught out of position. Oh no, Kelazhur, he doesn't go for it.
Yeah, just catch one out on the map. Looks like he's going to have to go fully for this base trade, and ShaDoWn once again going to be dropping back. So very interesting to see ShaDoWn with such a huge economy and with Nexus absolutely everywhere, not wanting to go for the base trade. I think that's a bit of a strange decision.
I think so as well. I think this is maybe an ideal scenario here for Kelazhur. We do see his army slipping in towards that natural. He does end up getting a kill on that forge as well. Is there a way out there? He can always pick up, but there are a lot of Blink Stalkers. Ooh.
Oh, and a huge disruptor shot goes down. We're seeing some pretty good trades coming out from Kelazhur, but I don't think trades are what he wants right now.
Yeah, especially because the Zealot run by went out of control here. 24 SCVs went down. Zealots in the natural, Zealots in the pocket base. Finally, it all gets cleaned up. But look at the worker counts. Oh my god, are we casting Haas? Like, ShaDoWn with 110 probes.
Yeah, I was wondering why his army's been looking so small. Like, I guess that's why. Is he does have, Nexus everywhere. There's cannons at every Nexus to defend it. And yeah, I guess I can understand why he dropped back with his army then, because all he really needs to do is just keep trading army over and over and over again, and he should eventually overwhelm.
Yeah, I mean, ShaDoWn, he is remaxed. He's ready to go once again. Kelazhur, meanwhile, he's not going to take this lying down. He's pushing in towards these more vulnerable bases. Bearing in mind that even though we have a lot of probes, the bases were oversaturated, and an entire mineral line almost gets caught out. Yeah,
this Nexus is going to be going down, but we have plenty more where that came from for ShaDoWn here.
We really do. Meanwhile, the armies are once again engaging. The disruptors are lagging a little bit behind, so a lot of shots are going to go off on this Gateway army.
Yeah, but there we go. We do see the disruption novas coming out. Are going to be taking out a lot of these mines because they're just dropping back and forth behind the safety of those liberators, but doesn't really feel like he can fully engage this army.
Yeah, not yet. Not without the power of the libs. They are going to re-siege here a little bit more forward. Novas are going to zone away the Bioforce, but he actually is able to just push his way up in towards the pocket base.
Yeah, there we go. So he is just trying to zone out for his prize here, which is this huge amount of probes that have been rerouted up here. If he can take those out, it's definitely going to help him out. Although, as I say that, I wonder if it's almost better for ShaDoWn to lose his probes.
Maybe it would be. Maybe it would be. As Zealots come in from behind, we do see a surround here on the army of Kelazhur, and it looks like he will lose his entire army.
Yeah, most of the disruptors going to be going down. Really nice Liberator focus fire coming out from Kelazhur, but at the same time behind this, I'm just not sure that he has the economy to keep up with ShaDoWn in this kind of game.
He really does, and ShaDoWn is just taking more and more bases. We do see that ShaDoWn doesn't have the most refined army. You'd think that with this kind of economy, we would be transitioning into something like Sky Toss or getting more Colossi out as well. He's just hammering that Disruptor button, and we just haven't gotten that many good trades.
Yeah, there we go. The Zealots are going to be getting on top of the bio here. We do see a lot of Disruptors coming out, trying to take out those mines, but the army for ShaDoWn not looking very strong right now, and we do have a huge warp in of gateway units, but that's going to be cancelled, and I do think Kelazhur is going to be able to get a little bit done here.
Yeah, I mean, we will see. So far, it's trading quite well here with these Stalkers. Oh, the mines are going to be going down. Once again, another massive surround, and the drops are going to get picked up.
Yeah, there we go. Kelazhur down to only one medevac from that force, and I do really feel like he's starting to bleed out here.
Yeah, I think so as well. Like, there needs to be another way to come back. We need a decisive victory here from Kelazhur. I mean, if he does take a fight near his planetary, he will have a bit of a defender's advantage. We do have the Liberators coming in once again, but I just don't know if there's enough Terran.
Yeah, the Disruptor's just doing such a good job constantly clearing out the mines. Big AoE shots from the mines, probably one of the only ways that Kelazhur can find himself back in this. So I think it's really nice that ShaDoWn's been so disciplined with constantly clearing those out.
Yeah, he really has. As oh my god, the Disruptors are left a little bit exposed. It looks like he was a little bit trigger happy, and every single Disruptor is going to go down.
Yeah, all of the Disruptors going down, and a good chunk of the army as well. So Kelazhur might be able to get himself back into this one. It looks like he just kept ShaDoWn a little bit distracted over there at the north side of the map, and he does have a little bit of a bio upgrade here. He really needs to get going with this though and start trading out units.
He really does. At the same time, we have a DT and Zealot run by towards the fourth base of Kelazhur, but he scans, he repairs, he does survive. Also, with that recall from ShaDoWn, the drop was actually in position to focus down even more of those Disruptors. The base is going to end up falling, and suddenly that massive supply advantage that ShaDoWn once had isn't there anymore.
Yeah, he finds himself here in a really awkward spot. That army was pretty small, of course, because of the commitment to the economy and how many probes that he had. And Kelazhur getting a lot of damage here, and ShaDoWn only really has Disruptors and gateway units to refresh this.
He really does, and I mean, we do see ShaDoWn. He's trying desperately to rebuild his army once again, but we have 3-3 here for Kelazhur. Nova goes off!
Oh. Huge Nova goes off, and that is exactly what ShaDoWn needed here.
It really is. Finally, ShaDoWn is able to clean up this army, push it back. His economy is still perfectly fine. He may have lost 2 bases, but the probe count is still very high, maybe too high. Thankfully, he's not continuing worker production. He's still trying to rebuild his army. Not the best army, though. He's only got 2 Disruptors.
Yeah, he's just warping in 12, I think 11, 12 units at a time out of those gateways. So with such a huge economy that he does have, that's going to be pretty nice. As looks like Kelazhur wants to stand and fight here.
Yeah, exactly. But a couple of Novas went off. Another Disruptor to get picked off as well. We still barely have any units available for Kelazhur, but he's looking to once again drag this into a minefield.
Yeah, and he really has chipped away at the economy of ShaDoWn. At one point, ShaDoWn had 111 probes, down to 77 now, and we see that he doesn't really have a gas bank either.
The other thing that I really noticed is the upgrade disadvantage, especially when we're relying on such a massive gateway army with Zealots and with Stalkers. I'm surprised we only have +1 armor, and as a result, Kelazhur's just been trading so well.
Oh my god, he's pulling probes. Oh, this is really smart. I actually think this is a really interesting way to kind of stem the tides, but yeah, it looks like he is going to think better of that one.
Was that intentional or not? I don't know, because he actually pulled the entire mineral line of the bottom left-hand base was taken, so I don't think that was intentional. Regardless, we did see ShaDoWn rotating back over, trying to get on top of the high ground. More Nova's going to be going up. Ooh, does snipe some of these Widow mines.
Yeah, ShaDoWn actually really struggling for money now, and his army is mostly Stalkers. It's not the greatest army. We see another Disruptor. He's going to be going down, and Kelazhur actually starting to break through the army. I I can't believe that Kelazhur has kept himself in this game.
Mate, he's not just keeping himself in this game, he's gonna turn the tides of the battle. There's one disruptor left, and it looks like there is 0 disruptors left, only stalkers. We need some more zealots here, but they're gonna get picked off, and now stalker against bio, it's not really something you want to be seeing.
Yeah, we have a medevac per marauder here. These Zealot Warpins definitely going to be doing work, but the aggression of Kelazhur really doing wonders here. Looks like that one marauder going to be picked off at the front. There probably just isn't enough here for Kelazhur, but with the reinforcements coming in, I think he can continue to push here.
You really can, especially with these ghosts, especially with the EMPs. We see an offensive blink forward, and I think that was a massive mistake from ShaDoWn.
Wow, and GG is called. That is incredible. I can't believe Kelazhur did this. I can't believe he got himself back into this game. He looked so dead.
Oh my god. Yeah, from almost the start of the game, like Kelazhur, to bring it all back, he went for a 2-base all-in that kind of fell on its face. It kind of fell on its face, and on top of that, ShaDoWn went for a very fast 4th, and it was unscouted. Even though Kelazhur was going for a bunch of drop play, a bunch of harassment, he just he didn't know about the 4th. He wasn't able to punish it. He wasn't able to really punish the economy at all of ShaDoWn. He was up to 5, 6, 7 bases, 111 probes. Crazy.
Yeah, I have to wonder if ShaDoWn was maybe a little bit nervous in that game, because we did see him coming back a lot for counterattacks of Kelazhur when he was already in a very good position to take the base trade, which is something that can happen when you're nervous, when you really want to win a game and you're scared to throw it. And at the same time, we also saw, yeah, maybe 111 probes wasn't intentional. I'm not sure.
Maybe it's not the best idea to go for that many workers in a PvT. Maybe. Oh god. But on top of that, like, we also have to praise Kelazhur with his overall control, right? It was a really it was an uphill battle. There was a time where he was fighting against 9 disruptors, but he was forcing mistakes out of ShaDoWn. He was forcing him to he was pulling his army apart left and right. He was forcing his army to be out of position. He was picking off one disruptor here and there, and slowly it all added up.
Yeah, as much as I think maybe not taking the base trade there for ShaDoWn was a little bit of a mistake potentially, I think as well, Kelazhur putting him in that position, realizing that the only way he could really get himself back into that game is to go for that kind of move and make the game weird, make the game aggressive, make it chaotic. Definitely props to him for finding that.
Definitely. So GG, very well played there by Kelazhur. A very close ace match. I say close. I mean, it was kind of in favor of ShaDoWn for the majority of it, but Kelazhur made it close towards the end. And with that, Kelazhur, he moves on to the winners match.
Yeah, insane comeback there by Kelazhur. And he will be going on to face the winner. And that will be, I believe, Create.